Servus fellow gearheads, welcome back to the Austrian Car Guy. Today I'm talking about a huge automotive debate. Classic cars versus the rising force of electric vehicles. Recently I had a lively discussion on this topic with my best friend's stepfather. He's a classic car enthusiast, much like myself, but with an extensive knowledge of various cars and brands. Our conversations tend to snowball into riveting discussions, traversing from one fascinating topic to the next. Join me as I guide you through some key insights, weighing the pros and cons and exploring the unique charms of these two automotive realms. To ensure we are on the same page for subsequent discussion points, my daily driver is an EV. A Peugeot e-partner from Stellantis, switching from a combustion engine model due to favorable funding for business owners. As a self-employed individual, I cover about 20 to 25,000 kilometers annually, offering a diverse range of experiences with my electric companion. My second car is a first-gen Cadillac Seville with a V8 combustion engine reserved for spring to fall drives and only on rain-free days, when time allows for a leisurely, enjoyable experience. With both worlds under my belt, I'll guide you through the upcoming topics from this dual perspective. Classic engines are synonymous with the unmistakable roar, a symphony of sounds that define the driving experience. That stumble and rumbling is a unique experience to every type of old-timer, while the accompanying scent further amplifies the overarching sense of nostalgia. On the flip side, EVs bring a different kind of thrill. The eerie silence before unleashing instant and continuous torque during acceleration. Nevertheless, with the escalation of speed, the noise from the rolling tires become more prominent, and surprisingly, it isn't significantly quieter than that emanating from a contemporary car with a combustion engine, both from within and outside the vehicle. It's an ongoing clash between tradition and innovation, where the timeless resonance of classic engines contends with the cutting-edge advancements of electric power. Classic engines, particularly the iconic V8s, epitomize unbridled power and performance, showcasing their intricate mechanics beneath the hood. In my opinion, V8s inherently emanate power. Even in their factory state, the resonant roar of the engine during acceleration provides an immersive experience, allowing you to truly sense the car's might, the essence of the engine and the raw force it commands. Electric cars redefine speed with lightning-fast acceleration, yet they often miss the tangible sensation of the power they wield. Their acceleration continues until reaching some predefined speed limit, creating an experience that, while impressive, lacks the tactile connection to the vehicle. However, one cannot deny that classic cars, adorned with their unique patina and storied history, possess an unmistakable soul. This soulful essence is notably absent in the somewhat standardized appearance of many contemporary cars and electric vehicles. Sure, classic cars and engines demand love and attention. You gotta change oil and filters and get your hands dirty. But that's what driving a classic is all about. Hands-on and DIY. On the other side, electric vehicles boast simplicity, but the question lingers, is it really that straightforward as it seems? The streamlined nature of electric vehicles is evident. Uncertainties persist. What can you do yourself if you break down on the side of the road? What solutions are available if you find yourself with a drained battery? The elephant in the room: range anxiety. EVs have made strides, but let's discuss real-world experiences and address the concern. Classic cars, well, a quick pit stop at the gas station and you're back on the road. It's a battle between charging breaks and gas station camaraderie. Running out of fuel or battery charge is a shared reality. And I'll recount a personal experience of navigating a charging dilemma on a cold day. Picture this: cruising down the highway, navigating a mountain pass only to realize that the next charging station is agonizingly out of reach. Frantically searching for an alternative station proved futile, leaving me with no choice but to press on towards the distant option. Fate intervened, favoring me as I reached the peak of the road, just within the range needed to reach the next charging station, approximately 40 kilometers away. Had the road climbed a few kilometers uphill, reaching the station would have been an impossibility. Now let's talk specifics. My e-partner boasts a not quite impressive up to 280 kilometers range according to the WLTP. However, reality sets in during the colder months, causing the range to dip to around 150 kilometers. It's a stark reminder that even with advanced electronic technology, environmental conditions can significantly impact performance. The environmental card, a critical factor. Classic cars carry the weight of gas emissions, while EVs champion a cleaner future. However, sourcing rare materials for EVs and the energy sources for charging pose their own environmental challenges. I'll share my experience using an EV for business, incorporating renewable energy and the complexities involved in being environmentally friendly. I use my EV for my business, and the purchase was subsidized with some requirements that had to be met, like 100% electricity from renewable energy, a leasing contract that must run for at least 4 years, etc. All that makes sense. In addition to that, we have a photovoltaic system on the roof, so I can charge the EV with surplus electricity. While these conditions align with the goal of environmental responsibility, the implementation involves significant upfront costs and the completion of numerous documents before any reimbursement from the funding agency is realized. An amusing anecdote from one of my vacations highlights the paradoxical nature of environmental choices. During a conversation with a couple who had purchased an EV to contribute to environmental conservation, they enthusiastically discussed the plans for the next vacation. A cruise. Adding a humorous twist, the woman was a city councillor for the environment. The realization of the contradiction prompted some swift backtracking on their part. While it's crucial for everyone to contribute to environmental preservation, some practices remain puzzling. Key issues such as the environmental impact of massive cruise ships emitting significant carbon dioxide, the carbon footprint disparity between the rich and the poor, and climate change conferences attended in person with private jet travel raise eyebrows. Another perplexing aspect is the cost of public transport, often exceeding the expense of driving one's car. In Austria, the state-owned Austrian Federal Railways exemplifies this issue. Interestingly, some individuals in Luxembourg have taken a different route by making public transportation free of charge. However, let's not deviate too far from the primary focus of this video: classic cars versus EVs. In the end, it's not just about choosing sides, it's about embracing the diversity of the automotive world. Classic cars and electric vehicles each have a unique story to tell, a distinct character to offer. While my business car just serves a practical purpose, my Seville is a vehicle to savor and relish the bygone era. Would I tread the path of embracing an EV for my daily business commute? The answer lies in a resounding definitely maybe. Winter ushers in logistical challenges, while summer offers a refreshing alternative. However, for extensive long-distance journeys, I find myself standing at a crossroads, unable to firmly align with one side. When traveling with my EV, I make a conscious effort to utilize charging times productively by responding to emails, making calls that require my full attention, or working on my laptop. While using my EV for leisure travel, I find that it can occasionally become a source of frustration. Ultimately, my decision to travel with an EV is grounded in a careful consideration of the following factors: The existence of a photovoltaic system on our roof, attractive funding opportunities, funding stipulating the use of 100% renewable energy, a desire to shrink my carbon footprint considering my annual mileage of 20 to 25,000 kilometers, days spent entirely within the office and the opportunity to charge the EV during daylight hours using surplus electricity from our photovoltaic system. An innate curiosity, a willingness to try something new. So, where do you stand in this dynamic automotive landscape? Can you grasp the reasoning behind my choices? Share your thoughts in the comments and let's keep this conversation rolling. Thanks for joining the Austrian Car Guy today in this classic versus electric showdown. Drive safe, take care and see you in the next episode.